The tip-off. Again, Brian, let's get back into talking a little bit about a couple of key players. And obviously, when you look at these two teams, two names come to mind. One of them is Jason Brink for Abraham Lincoln. Now, he's been out the majority of the season with an ankle injury. Now, the first time these two teams met, Thomas Jefferson was a 10-point victor, but Jason Brink went down in the first quarter of that ball game. I think that's going to be a big key tonight.
Yes, his return into the lineup should be a big plus for AL. You know, he's been a great player all throughout the year, and hopefully he can put on a show for us tonight. Okay,
and another player is, of course, Neil Askew, who's pretty much come into the Metro Conference this year in Omaha and done a fine job for the Yellow Jackets. Okay, the opening tip is won by Abraham Lincoln, and Mike McCart with the ball. Brings it down, Dave Patton guarding him. Back underneath the breath, no good. Come up by Mike Beckman underneath. Patton with the ball. Tries to pass it inside, but kicked by McCart. Oh yeah, one thing I noticed is both teams very early came down and tried to go inside.
Yeah, and both teams came out in those first two plays and were in man-to-man defense.
No, he didn't touch that, so it won't be over and back. A little moan from the crowd, but you always get that on a play like that, don't you, Brian?
Yeah.
Pass down inside to nobody. Jason Aaron's looking for the pass, but not quite there. As Lakes come up to the ball, we have 30 seconds gone in the ball game with no score. McCart bringing the ball down to the court. Ball by Johnson, shot up and good. Number 23, Pat Hughes. Pat had a real good ball game. I saw the ball game against Creston the other night, and he had an excellent ball game. Probably the best ball game I've seen him play all year long.
That was a nice move by Pat, and that's really going to help if he can drive and open up the inside for the big guys.
Again, the guard play of Abraham Lincoln, not quite as, I wouldn't say not quite as good, but they don't rely on it as much as TJ does. So if they can open up that outside perimeter, they should be able to get the ball inside. Again, McCart looking inside, back out to Meese. You notice Ryan Meese has some tape on his hand. He jammed his hand the other night in a ball game against Creston. McCart again with it, back into Meese. He's driving a nice drive, but off the glass, not even close. Askew with the rebound, bringing up nice pass underneath by Patton into Neil Askew. And Askew gets his first 2 points of the ball game. 6:20 left in the ball game. We have a tied score at 2-2.
As we said before, TJ's fast break is going to be a key tonight. Here we go again.
AL crowd wanting a travel, but I don't think they're going to get it. He was under control. Neil Askew, really a good ball handler, I've noticed in a few games that I've played. Mike Beckman up and over the top. Thomas Jefferson leading 4-2. Abraham Lincoln's, or Thomas Jefferson rather, still in that man-to-man. Shot up and good by Brad Burke.
Excuse me, that was Brink on that play.
Jason Brink. Thank you for correcting me there, big man. Beckman inside. We got an offensive. You can tell the one thing that I've noticed, especially in the game that I watched the other night at Creston, is the difference in officiating. You yourself have played with Metro officials, and it seems like they let a lot more go than some of these smaller town referees do.
The Metro officials let a lot of the hand checking go and a lot of the strong play inside.
And that's one thing you notice right there, Beckman. It really didn't look like there was a whole lot of an offensive charge there, but getting called very early in the game, the refs kind of setting the tone for it. Another pass down underneath the Aarons, back out to Patton. Patton pulls up for the 15-footer, no good. And we have a jump ball. Alternating possession goes to Thomas Jefferson. Jason Aaron's to bring the ball in. Nice pass underneath. That was just a breakdown of defense right there, wasn't it?
Yeah, Dave Patton had a nice backdoor cut to the basket for an easy layup.
You notice most of the time when you see an out-of-bounds pass play that they run a zone defense, and that's one of the things that can happen against the zone defense is that back door. Newberry in for the no good, off the rim. Neil Askew had both hands about 6 inches above the rim. He was ready for the jam there. Okay, McCart bringing the ball back down the court. Passes it out to the wing into Meese. Meese drives the baseline, passes it to nobody. Askew with the ball and up. And I have a feeling Neil was going for the jam.
Yeah, he was.
That could hurt right there. That got the AL crowd in. Nice steal by Mike Beckman.
With a nice hustle.
Throwing it. Too bad, though, off Neil Askew's hands. Good hustle by both teams. Beckman going down for the ball. We have a score of 6-4. Thomas Jefferson leading. Looks a little deceiving tonight. Thomas Jefferson is the home team at Abraham Lincoln.
TJ is really denying the passing lanes to the wing pass now.
McCart having lots of trouble getting rid of the ball. Pat Hughes brings the ball back down, and McCart down on the wing. Down there, a nice pass by McCart into Brad Burke.
That was a perfect execution of the pick and roll play.
Nice little giving, you betcha. That's just how they draw it up in the book.
Yeah.
We have a ball out of bounds. Thomas Jefferson ball. Ball into Askew.
Thank you, Neil.
Askew puts it into Ahrens. Ahrens up with a shot off the back of the rim. And Meese comes up with the rebound. Mike McCart the other night in the ball game had absolutely no turnovers, and for a point guard, that's a real positive thing to happen. Don't want to sound like I'm being an Abraham Lincoln fan here, but it is the game that I saw the other night, and it's one of the things that I noticed. Mike McCart had an excellent ball game.
Both teams have a really good guard core.
Dave Patton, you might recall his brother played last year, and it seemed like Mike Patton was had a little bit better outside shot, but Dave has excellent ball handling abilities. Jason Arnold now into the ball game for the Lynx. As Patton brings the ball down the court, down into the low post. Pass to Askew, but picked off by Meese. Meese having 2 or 3 steals already in the game. And with 3:22 left in the ball game, we have a tied score at 6. Fairly low-scoring affair. Of course, you get into these district final ball games, and everybody's a little tense the first quarter.
Jason Arnold strong on the boards that time.
Very strong.
Look in now.
Patton with the ball, trying to get it inside to Beckman. Passes it down into Newberry. Newberry with the 20-footer up and good. Nice shot by Mike Newberry. McCart with the ball, passes it down to Meese. Meese bringing it inside to Brink. Brink up for the 10-footer. No good off the front of the rim. Beckman with the rebound. Patton bringing the ball across the timeline. Doing his general work in there. Brings the ball up, 15-footer, no good. And foul on the play. Foul on Mike McCart. Only the first foul on Abraham Lincoln this game.
Mike McCart with a foul.
Now checking into the ball game for the Lynx, we have Pat Gibson
and Tony Johnson.
Tony Johnson. If I don't recall, Tony Johnson rolled an ankle here about a week ago, and so he might be a little bit tender tonight. Speaking of rolling ankles, you kind of know a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's a very painful injury, and as most of you know, Jason Brink went through that earlier this season and sat out about half the year.
For those of you who don't know, Brian is the starting center for the St. Albert's Falcons, and they've won their first 2 rounds of tournament play, and hopefully they'll make their berth to state championship. Huh? What do you think, Greg?
Yeah, hopefully.
Gibson with the ball, brings it across. Nice pass into Jason Arnold. Beautiful block by Mike Newberry.
Mike Newberry with the block.
Just little plays like that really gets the crowd into it, doesn't it, Brian?
Yeah. TJ came out in a press that time.
Quick foul is going to be on Newberry. It'll be his first, team's second this half. A rule that some of you might not be aware of that they just changed to this year is the seven foul rule, where there are no one-on-ones, no bonus until you get to 7 fouls, and then it's a 2-shot foul. And I myself am not. I think it takes a little bit of the strategy out of the ball game, especially towards the end of the game.
Yeah, as a player, I like it because if you're a good free throw shooting team, you can help preserve that lead, or maybe even get back into the ball game with those 2 shots.
Gibson puts them in. We have a 10-10 ball game with 2 minutes and 9 seconds to go in the first quarter. Askew with the ball down on the wing. Pass it cross court. 3-pointer by the big man. No good, off the back of the rim. And McCart with the rebound. Tony Johnson with the ball down the wing, getting it inside to Arnold. Arnold up and no good. I think the adrenaline might still be running pretty high. Nice pass interception there by Tony Johnson.
Once again, TJ pushing the ball up the court, trying to capitalize on a fast break.
Patton with the ball, driving the baseline. Nice little drive. Comes up with nothing but air. Arnold with the ball, brings it into McCart. McCart goes in amongst the trees, throws it back outside. And it is Abraham Lincoln ball. As a player, Brian, what is coming off of a coming off of a overtime win of a team that you pretty much dominated a couple of weeks earlier? Nice shot there by Newberry. What's that do to you after? Does that break the confidence down a little bit, do you think?
Well, it can have that effect, and it can also have the effect of strengthening your team, and it can help you quite a bit, winning in a situation like that.
One thing, when tournament time comes around, you might as well throw all records out the window, no matter what.
You just got to take it one game at a time.
Especially when these two teams meet. One team can be 19-0, and the other team can be 0-19, and it's going to be a 2 or 3 point ball game. You can almost guarantee it. One thing I know is reading the Omaha World Herald the other day. There's a team in Nebraska. It's D1 or D2, whatever they have over there. They have so many classes, it's hard to tell what they're doing over there. But there was a team, I think it was Dillon, Nebraska. They had a record of 5-13, and they had a state berth. They had only won 2 games, and they won 3 games right in a row. So you never know.
Yeah,
anything can happen. A couple of years ago when Abraham Lincoln went to the state tournament, I believe they only had 6 or 7 wins. Askew with the steal. Newberry inside, doesn't go. Fouls on Gibson.
Mike Newberry with 2 strong moves to the basket that time.
That'll be the second team foul on Abraham Lincoln, the first on Pat Gibson. The home team on the scoreboard, the Thomas Jefferson Yellow Jackets leading 12-10 with 31 seconds to go in the ball game. First quarter. I'm getting a little anxious here. It's up and no good. And the second one's good. Now coming into the ball game, number 32, Chauncey Jones. And I believe that Chauncey is only a sophomore.
Yes, that's right.
So he's got a good future ahead of him. Pass down court into Brink. Brink takes it up strong, but is fouled.
AL did a nice job of breaking the TJ press that time. And that's what they're going to need to do tonight. Once they break that press, they've got to push the ball inside to their big men. You
might notice Jason Brink with 2 of those air casts is what I guess what you call him on both of his ankles. Earlier in the year, he sprained his ankle right before Christmas in the Thomas Jefferson game, and he came back in the very first game that he played in. He sprained his other ankle. I think he might have been favoring the one that he was that he'd hurt earlier, and he sprained the other one. Patton with the ball, bring it down on the right-hand side of the court, down into Ahrens. Ahrens looking for someone. I guess that's Mike Beckman up there. Mike Beckman with the ball, passes it over to Chauncey Jones. And into Josh Madden, thinks about the three, puts it up, airballed it. And 13-11 is our score here. And the first quarter, well, it's about all that we intended it to be. It's a 2-point ball game. And both teams coming out, probably trying to work the nerves out here this first quarter.
Yeah, it may take them this first quarter just to get in the groove.
So with the start of the second half getting ready to start, we're going to take a break and be right back. We're back. Thomas Jefferson leading going into the second quarter, 13-11. The Abraham Lincoln's ball. And you really noticed what we talked about earlier was the transition game of Thomas Jefferson. They're really trying to move the ball on Abraham Lincoln. Nice pass and alley-oop. No good. Askew comes up with the loose ball. Brings the ball down the court and wisely pulls it back. Nice pass underneath to Newberry. Newberry gets the ball. No foul. And McCart brings the ball down the court. Sets up the offense, back into Gibson. Gibson passes it inside to Brink, and no good. Beckman with the rebound.
Look in now.
Patton hands the ball off to Askew. Askew tries to pull up for the jumper. Jason Ahrens passes it back out to Mike Patton. Dave Patton, rather.
It's a foul.
There's a foul on number 25 with a blocking foul at Gibson. AL still in that tough man-to-man defense.
Yeah, they really turned up the pressure that time.
Now into the ballgame, number 53, Brian Schwartz, giving Jason Brink a well-deserved rest. Ball inbounds to Patton. Patton thinks about it, passes it off to Newberry. Newberry to the back door to Patton. He thinks about the three-pointer, pulls up for the 18-footer, no good. Jason Ahrens with a nice rebound, and I believe he walked. Yes, he did.
AL moved into what looked like a 1-3-1 zone that time.
What would be the purpose of moving into them from the man-to-man? It seemed like it was working. What would be the purpose into moving into that?
Just a variation in the defense, and see if you could force TJ into a couple of turnovers.
Actually, there's only been a couple of turnovers here in the first half, which has been pretty good. Schwartz underneath, no good. Locked out of bounds. TJ ball. We'll see if they come down into that zone again. I believe that's what it looks
AL
like.
back into that 1-3-1 zone.
Alley-oop to Askew. Beautiful.
That was a nice alley-oop play.
That'll make the highlight film.
Dave Patton to Neil Askew.
TJ with a 4-point lead now, 15-11. Pass inside to Schwartz. Schwartz off the glass, good. Pass down the sideline to Askew. Askew with a nice move, pull up 10-foot jumper, good. Transition game really starting to take an effect here for TJ. Really starting to run that ball. Kevin Arnold down inside in the paint. Passed it off to Gibson. Gibson with the 10-footer up and good. Still a 2-point ball game. 5:40 left in the second quarter. Thomas Jefferson leading 17-15. Patton with the three. It's up off the front of the rim. Rebound by Arnold. Arnold passes it off to McCart. McCart driving the lane. Pass, nice pass to Meese. Up and no good. And a foul by Jason Ahrens. That'd be the team's fourth foul. 3 more before they get into the, I guess you wouldn't call it bonus, you'd call it the 2-shot. I guess it would be the bonus, wouldn't it?
The last couple times now, the AL guards have broke that TJ press and have been able to penetrate and push the ball inside.
Meese with a nice shot up for the pull the Lynx within 1. Second one is up and no good. Rebound by Beckman. Pass off to Newberry down on the bottom. Back up to Patton as he directs the traffic. Pulls up for the 3. No good off the front of the rim. Rebound by Gibson. Jason Arnold with the ball, drives the baseline, up and good. Abraham Lincoln, I believe that's their first lead of the ball game at 18-17. Nice pass down inside. Boy, it could have been something almost called there. A little banging going on underneath.
Nice hustle by both teams on that play.
We have a jump ball. Alternating possession goes to Thomas Jefferson. Here's to pass the ball in bounds to Patton. Back down to Newberry, trying to work the ball inside. Patton thinks about the 3.
AL is really packing in the zone on Mike Beckman.
They still get him the ball.
He gets the ball.
Nice move. Beckman wanting the call. Didn't quite get it. Askew trying for the steal. Ball inside the paint to Meese, and he walked. Well, you'd almost say there was a couple too many passes right in there. Jason Arnold had a nice 10-foot jumper, but just gave it up.
Yeah.
Sometimes a team has a tendency to pass the ball a little bit too much. They might get a little nervous, especially if they've missed a couple of shots. Then they get they lose their confidence.
And you want to get, you know, an easier shot.
And you ask just about any coach around, and they wouldn't want you to pass up a 10-footer.
No.
Shots up and no good. Rebound by Madden. If it don't, you first succeed.
Jason Ahrens with the basket that time.
Pat Hughes bringing the ball up the court. Cross-court pass to no good. Nice hustle by Pat Gibson. Brings the ball. Crowd wanting a little bit of foul, but that's a little picky right there. You wouldn't want to call that, would you? I know I wouldn't. Brian Meese with nice hustle underneath.
Gets his own rebound back.
Thinks about the 3-pointer. Passes inside to Schwartz. And I believe we have a foul on Jason Ahrens. Brian Schwartz, by the way, I believe is a 4-point something. I know he's more than a 4.0. Very intelligent young man. Now into the ball game for Thomas Jefferson, number 30, Bart Carlson. I believe we've seen Bart tonight. Nice shot by Jason Arnold.
Jason Arnold's done a great job so far coming off that bench and giving AL some scoring.
That's one thing that you notice, especially when you get down into the state tournament, that most of the teams down there, they have more than 5 players. They probably have 7 or 8, maybe 9 players that any 5 could be on the floor at one time, and you wouldn't be hurt.
And that's, you know, and that's a big plus when tournament time comes around, just in case you get some of those starters in foul trouble.
Exactly.
Jason Brink into the ball game for Abraham Lincoln.
Brink coming off a 16-point performance in Creston the other night. Newberry down in the bottom corner, passes it back out to Askew, gets it down inside the paint into Josh Madden. Nice little one-handed jumper.
Josh Madden with the little baby hook shot inside.
Come on, play some defense.
Madden also only a junior, so they'll have him back next year. Pass down into Askew. Askew wisely passes the ball off. Mike Newberry with the basket. That's one thing you like to see, Neil. Neil going in towards the basket. Nice pass off.
And Newberry had a strong move on that one. He had to double clutch it.
Still came up with the basket. Mike Beckman getting ready to come into the ball game. Passed inside to Brink. And I believe he was fouled. That'll be the 6th team foul on Thomas Jefferson.
AL's postmen are doing a fine job of moving to the open area inside and really working hard to get position.
2:04 left in the first half. Thomas Jefferson leading 23-20. As Patton comes up with the ball. Brings the ball down the court. Passes it down into Josh Madden. Back out to Patton. Patton dribbles the ball into the center of the court. Passes off to Askew. Askew thinks about the three-pointer. Passes it back to Madden. And a two. It would only been a 2 for Patton. But it didn't go anyway.
Pat Hughes with a strong rebound.
McCart comes down the court with the ball. Break down on the wing. Passes it back out to Hughes, back out to Meese. Really around the court right now, we have a couple of pretty good college prospects in Neil Askew and Jason Brink. We're just about assured that both of them will be going into somewhere to play college ball. Speaking of Neil Askew, he pulls up for the 3. Good. Yes, he only gave him 2. He said his foot was on the line. 50 seconds left to go in the first half. Thomas Jefferson with a 5-point lead, 25-20. Mike McCart brings the ball across the timeline. Pass it to Pat Hughes. Hughes down into Jason Arnold. Arnold looking to get the ball inside. Nice pass over the top to Brink. Good. Boy, AL really getting the ball inside. And I bet you 50% of their shots have come inside the paint.
Yeah, they have.
Askew with the ball up and no good. And he's fouled by 35, Jason Brink. No, I believe that was Ryan Meese. So neither team, I believe, before the half will reach that 7 foul bonus. Again, free throws are a very important part of the basketball game. The other night, I believe it was Creston hit 23 out of 25 free throws against Abraham Lincoln, and that really kept him into the ball game.
Yeah.
Askew with the first one, no good. Second one is up and doesn't get the roll. Arnold with the rebound. We've been seeing Jason Arnold's been named quite a bit tonight on the rebounding. Got to check at halftime.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job of getting inside position.
Abraham Lincoln doesn't get a shot off. So the first half, just about everything we expected it to be, Brian. We have a 25-22 lead by Thomas Jefferson. And like we said at the beginning of the telecast, that the two things that were going to be very important was going to be the guard play of Thomas Jefferson and the transition game and the inside play of Abraham Lincoln, and they sure haven't proven us wrong tonight.
No, both teams have this first half have been doing what they needed to do, and TJ's doing a very good job of pushing the ball out on the break to Neil Askew and Dave Patton, and AL's doing a good job of penetrating and getting the ball inside to their big guys, and that's why the score is so close right now.
We haven't heard much from the inside play of of Beckman and Ahrens, but then again, it's being made up by
AL switched into that 1-3-1 zone and packed it in on Mike Beckman.
So they're going to try. They're going to try to make them shoot from the outside.
Yeah, they're going to try
and
force the issue and make them beat you from the 3-point line.
Okay, so with the score 25-22, Thomas Jefferson leading. We'll be back. Hear me? Welcome back to Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln Fieldhouse, rather, as TJ leads the Lynx 25-22. Do we have some leading scorers here for the first half?
For Thomas Jefferson, Neil Askew had 8 points that first half, and for Abraham Lincoln, Jason Arnold had 6 points coming off the bench.
So it doesn't seem like one person is really dominating the scoring.
No, up to this point, it's been a low-scoring game, and there's been a lot of good defense that's been played.
Backdoor into Pat Hughes, up and no good. So we're going to have a foul in there on
Brad Burke.
Brad Burke.
Over the back foul.
Definitely. So AL comes out and tries a little alley-oop pass. Doesn't seem to work. Patton with the ball brings it. We have a Mike McCart on man-to-man defense there. AL comes into the second half with their man-to-man again. Askew with the ball down into Ahrens, back out to Patton. Ahrens down in the corner, pass up to Askew. Ball's knocked away by Brad Burke. TJ ball. Dale still sticking in that man-to-man. Out front to Askew, tries to get the ball inside to Beckman. Up and good. Haven't heard a whole lot from Mike Beckman tonight. Maybe we'll start.
Mike Beckman with a good position play on that one.
Nice pass by Mike McCart. Shot up and no good. TJ leads 27-22.
AL tried a backdoor cut on that play.
By a backdoor cut, what? Can you explain that a little bit? What the backdoor cut is?
Basically, Ryan Meese cut along the baseline towards the basket, and they hit him with a bounce pass as he was going up.
Nice little pass by Mike McCart inside, blocked by Jason Ahrens. Pretty good crowd on hand tonight, but I figured there'd be a lot more people actually than there really are. I figured this place would be jam-packed. Usually is when Abraham Lincoln meets Thomas Jefferson.
Take a break for the basket.
Patton with the ball, looking to get the ball inside. Alley-oop pass to Askew. Askew just a little bit too close to the basket on that one. Off of Jason Ahrens' hands, Abraham Lincoln ball. Seems to be that Thomas Jefferson's almost trying to slow things down a little bit more. I haven't seen as much as their transition. Of course, we're only 2 minutes into the second half.
Yeah.
And
here we go.
Just as I say that, here they come. Askew passes the ball down to Newberry. Newberry backdoors it to...
TJ really likes to run that transition off of turnovers off the other team.
And that's got to take their part on the other team. Towards the end of the fourth quarter, they've got to be getting a little tired. It seems to me, you'd say, well, wouldn't both teams be getting tired? But really, it takes a lot more out of you playing defense than it does playing offense.
Yeah. I think by this time of the season, both teams should be in pretty well shape.
One thing I've noticed is AL has had quite a few more substitutes than Thomas Jefferson has. Of course, AL, I believe, has 10 seniors on the team. So the depth is real good for Abraham Lincoln. We have a foul on, I believe it was Jason Arnold. That'll be the team's third this half. Jason Arnold's second. As Thomas Jefferson with a 5-point lead, 5:49 to go in the third quarter, with a 29-24 lead. He'll ask you up to the charity stripe. First one is up and good. Shoots the second one also, nothing but net. Or as Dick Vitale would say, what would he say? Nothing but nylon.
Yep.
Dick Vitale's not
Neil
one of my
Askew
favorite
with 10
people.
points on the night now.
In case you heard that, Dick Vitale really not one of my favorite people. I usually turn the sound down, turn the music up when he's on. A lot of people like him, but a little too loud for me. Askew with the steal. Patton with the ball. Passes it off to Newberry as they go through their offense. Newberry breaks into the free throw line. Blocked by Pat Hughes. Picked back up by Dave Patton. Patton with a dribble between his legs down to Askew. Askew drives into the ball. Blocked by Jason Brink. Jason Arnold with the ball. Nice pass into Brink. Brink with a nice move up underneath. Cutting the lead to 5. 31-26. Thomas Jefferson with the lead. Really haven't heard a whole lot from Jason Brink tonight. They've pretty much shut him down, and I'm sure that's one thing that Coach Bill Decker had intended to do, is to shut Jason Brink down. Pat Hughes with the ball. Passes it off to Brink. Brink with the finger roll underneath the baseline. Beckman with the rebound. Askew passes it off to Dave Patton.
Nice move by Brink that time. The ball just slipped out of his hand.
And a blocking foul. Crowd not too happy with
Illegal
that call.
screen.
I believe Mike was doing a little moving, wasn't he? 4:22 left to go in the third quarter. Abraham Lincoln behind 26-31. Pass off to Pat Hughes. Pat Hughes in for the rebound, in for the layup, but no good. Rebound by Jason Ahrens. TJ can go up by 7 points. 8 if they hit the three-pointer. Mike Beckman, nice move inside, gets the roll. TJ now with their largest lead of the ball game, 7 points. And one thing, if you're Abraham Lincoln, you surely don't want to get it, as Dan Koch calls a timeout, you surely don't want to get it to 10 points.
Yeah.
It seems to me that that 10-point, that double digit, just seems to be a barrier sometimes that is hard to break.
Yeah, and that 10-point lead can make it 3, possibly 4 possessions to get back in there.
No, if you're Dan Koch right now, what are you saying to your athletes?
Well, AL has done a good job of breaking TJ press. They just need to convert once they've beaten it.
I've noticed they're getting the ball inside, but I noticed they've missed a couple of real easy shots.
Yeah, they've just had a couple shots that haven't fallen.
Could be lack of concentration, could be a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Just bad luck.
Yeah.
Thomas Jefferson again with the 7-point lead, largest lead of the ball game. 3:55 left to go in the third quarter. As Thomas Jefferson will inbound the ball, or Abraham Lincoln rather will inbound the ball. Now into the ball game is Josh Madden also. Pass to Jason Arnold down beneath. Pass back out to Pat Gibson. Gibson with the ball, passes it inside to Brink. Brink up and off the glass, no good. Rebound by Arnold, or Ahrens rather. Newberry with the ball.
And that's a tough shot by Brink.
When you're underneath the basket like that and have to come out.
And it's tough when you're moving like that and trying to get an angle to the basket.
Neil Askew thinks about the three, moves in, and we have 3 seconds on Josh Madden. Well, that's one thing that you really don't see called a lot, even though people are, you know that some guys are in there 5, 6 seconds. It seems like you being a big man, I'm sure you've playing underneath. I'm sure you've done a little camping underneath there without people calling it on you. Nice steal by Ahrens. And we have a foul on Pat Hughes. Still a 7-point lead for Thomas Jefferson as Ryan Meese checks into the ball game. The winner of this ball game will play the winner of Denison and Carroll Kemper. And I believe, Brian, you've played the Denison team.
Carroll Kemper.
Carroll Kemper team. Carroll Kemper.
And they've got a real strong team this year.
I believe they're rated in the state, aren't they?
Yes, they've been rated in the top 10 all year long. Up until a couple weeks ago, they were rated number 2 most of the year, and now they're at about number 6.
Well, I also saw the Denison team play at Thomas Jefferson earlier this year, and TJ was a little bit flat that game. I believe it ended up being a 12 or a 14-point ball game, but it was a lot closer ball game than that. And I can't recall the name of the one Denison.
Aaron Arkfeld.
Aaron Arkfeld. I believe he's the coach's son, or I know the coach has a son that plays on the team. And I believe he had close to 30 points that night. He was just a one-man wrecking ball is what he was. So
he's a very good shooter.
Either one of these teams is going to have their work cut out for them when they play either a very strong Carroll Kemper team or a Denison team. As Arnold takes the ball in, and the foul is on Mike Beckman.
AL again did a good job of breaking the TJ pressure and getting the ball inside.
I believe that foul, correct me if I'm wrong, it was on Dave Patton.
No way.
Okay, Mike Beckman with that short jump shot attempt here, with the rebound rather. Patton thinks about the three-pointer. Beckman out front with the ball. Good defense by Mike McCart.
Get it.
And I believe we have a foul on Dave Patton. And we have a timeout by Thomas Jefferson, as Coach Bill Decker was none too happy about that, was he? It's one thing you notice is that I haven't noticed Coach Decker show a whole lot of emotion, but
he did on that time.
He was a little bit angry on that one right there. That's got to put a little emotion into Thomas Jefferson right here. So with 2 minutes and 40 seconds in the third quarter, Thomas Jefferson leads 33-26. We'll be back. We're back. Thomas Jefferson with the 33-26 lead over Abraham Lincoln, as the ball goes to Abraham Lincoln after that foul on Dave Patton.
TJ setting up a press here.
It's like a full court man, I believe, isn't it? And you notice in Dave Patton, number 54, you don't see a guard wearing a number like that very often, do you?
Yeah, that's very rare.
There might be a story behind that, but we don't know it. Dad might have wore it at one time or something like that. Nice hustle by Dave Patton.
Gibson that time chose to throw over the top of the TJ press, and AL almost got the ball in the basket that time.
There's one thing you see that nowadays that you never really used to see is a lot more passing over top of zone defenses. Nice rebound by Neil Askew. I know when I played high school ball, which was a few years ago, shot up and no good. It was almost unheard of to pass the ball over top of the zone, but it seems to be something that's being used more and more nowadays.
Another pass over the top.
Jason Arnold, as he actually loses control of the ball. That Gibson down inside to Arnold. Arnold works his way in, passes it to nobody. Patton with the ball, pulls up for the short jumper and decides not to, as Newberry 10-foot jump, no good. Brink with the rebound, passes it off to McCart, off McCart's foot. Dave Patton with the steal. And
Pat Gibson with the steal.
And we have a traveling, I believe. Whatever that was called.
Called a traveling on Dave Patton that time.
You can't lay on the floor, roll over, and that was a good call by the referee.
Yeah.
Referees, by the way, tonight are Steve Jansen and Rich Larson from Sioux City. Just coming down about 100 miles to referee the ball game. One thing you might notice, but I thought the referees, I know Sioux City is in a conference with a couple of Sioux Falls teams, South Sioux City, a few teams like that they're in a conference with. And I was just curious as to what the refereeing was compared to the Metro Conference, and it seems to be about equal. I know we talked earlier about the refereeing in the smaller towns being a little bit more nitpicky, you might say.
Yeah.
Whereas in the Metro Conference, they let things go a little bit. But tonight's really a pretty clean played ball game. Pass off to Josh Madden down inside to Mike Newberry. Shot up and no good. Newberry for the third time. Second rebound, and it's off Mike McCart's foot. Good hustle by Mike Newberry, even though he was only 2 foot away.
He was stripped on that play. In the past few years, that play has sort of changed where it used to be a foul on the defense. Now they rule that the hands are part of the ball. So I guess it's okay to slap the hands on the steal.
So a lot of times when people hear that skin on skin, they think it's a foul, but it is the hand. Mike Beckman with shot up and no good. A lot of rough play going on in there. TJ Ball. Boy, that's about 5 shots in a row for Thomas Jefferson. Abraham Lincoln just can't seem to get the ball, but then again, Thomas Jefferson can't seem to get it into the hole.
When Beckman got that rebound, he came down and was tripped on the play.
I noticed he had his legs wrapped up. There's some big bodies underneath there. Josh Madden with the ball, and I believe we're going to have a blocking foul and Jason Brink. So, in the last 3 minutes of play, there has been absolutely no scoring. There's still a 7-point lead. Thomas Jefferson leading 33-26 with 46 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Still a 7-point lead. Thomas Jefferson seemed like they've had the ball for an eternity. Nice pass by Neil Askew. Up and good by Mike Newberry. So that breaks about a 3.5 minute.
Neil did a nice job of recognizing the open player on that one.
So we have a push off underneath away from the ball on Josh Madden. That will put Abraham Lincoln to the line. By the way, Abraham Lincoln, in their win over Creston the other night, did sink their last 12, I read in the paper, their last 12 free throws in a row. And down the stretch, that makes a big difference. I know Abraham Lincoln is not noted this year for their free throw shooting. They're not a very good free throw shooting team. Matter of fact, I believe coming into this ball game, Jason Arnold was under 30% at the free throw line. Whether I jinxed him right there or not, I hope I didn't. Thomas Jefferson also is a very good free throw shooting team. Jason Arnold steps up, tries to cut it back down to 8 points, 35-26. Thomas Jefferson lead. It's up and good. 29 seconds left in the third quarter. We have a steal by Ryan Meese. Wisely slows it up, passes it over to Pat Hughes. Pat with an errant pass into Neil Askew. Neil going in for the two-handed slam with 16 seconds left in the third quarter, bringing the Thomas Jefferson crowd on their feet. Three-pointer by Pat Hughes is short. Mike Newberry shoots a three-pointer long and no good. 2 seconds left in the third quarter. 37-27, I believe that dunk by Neil Askew really got the TJ
It really
crowd.
fired up the TJ fans.
We have a three-point attempt by Brink was no good. So, with the TJ crowd going wild, Abraham Lincoln down by 10, Thomas Jefferson leading 37-27. We'll be back. Welcome back. Thomas Jefferson leading 37 to 27, and very low scoring third quarter.
This first 2 minutes is going to be a big key for AL. They've got to regain that momentum.
They're not going to do it like that, as Thomas Jefferson now up to a 12-point lead. Brink tries to get the ball shot off one-handed, no good. Rebound by Askew. Askew passes it off to Dave Patton. Again, a 12-point lead for Thomas Jefferson. Nice pass inside to Beckman. Beckman passes it to Newberry. Up off the glass. Good. 14-point lead now for Thomas Jefferson. And just that quick, TJ went from a 7-point lead to a 14-point lead. And you know you're gonna want to get that lead back with 5 minutes. You're gonna want for sure get that lead down to at least 8 or 9 points.
And TJ can't afford to do what they just did there, you know, sending AL to the foul line.
As AL calls a timeout, 41-27. And you notice that third quarter was a very low-scoring quarter. I don't quite remember what the score was at halftime, but I'm sure AL didn't have very many points, only having 27 points going into the fourth quarter.
They've only scored 3 points since halftime.
Yeah, it was
4 points.
4 points since halftime. That's one thing that you notice in that third quarter that Thomas Jefferson was doing real well, was cutting off that inside pass.
Yeah.
They got the ball. They might have gotten the ball inside, but AL had a real tough time getting the shot off clean. AL comes back out in the court waiting for Thomas Jefferson. And this would be, I know in the last couple of years, Abraham Lincoln has beaten Thomas Jefferson out in the first or second round of the districts. So this would kind of be a well-deserved win for Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah.
Again, both the teams coming in with about the same record. AL coming in with an 8-12 record, and TJ with a 7-13 record. I believe that's the other way around. I believe TJ has the 8-12, and AL has the 7-13. But anyway, both teams got off to an excellent start at the beginning of the year. I know AL was like to a 4 or 5-0, and TJ was. They had only lost one in their first 4 or 5 ball games, and then they hit that Metro Conference, and boy, it's tough. Patton with the ball. Dribbles the ball down court to Askew. Askew pass down to the back door into, I believe that's Bart Carlson. Newberry with the 8-foot jumper, no good. Askew with the rebound. Pulls up on the 5-foot, airballs it. Askew with the rebound again, no good. As the ball goes out to Mike McCart. And that's something
Jason Brink came down with the rebound that time.
That's something that TJ can't afford to do, is miss, and as is AL, miss those easy 3-foot, 4-foot jump shots. Nice pass by, I believe that was Dave Patton, but Meese with the interception. So we're getting a little run and gun here as we have a foul on Jason Ahrens, sending Jason Brink to line. This could cut it to a 10-point lead. 41-30 right now.
Really strong move inside that time, got fouled.
Number 44 for Thomas Jefferson, getting ready to check into the ball game, Travis Koenig. As Jason Ahrens sets out with his 4th foul of the ball game. It could be a big factor getting towards time to the end of the ball game. Neil Askew with the ball, 11-point lead for Thomas Jefferson. 6:27 left to go in the fourth quarter in this district championship, and as the ball gets blocked by Jason Brink. Askew with the ball back out to Patton, and you know Coach Decker's got to be saying it. We don't want to be taking any foolish shots. We have 6 minutes to go with an 11-point lead. Patton pulls up with a nice 10-foot jumper. That's exactly what you're looking for right there. You're not looking for a three-pointer. You're not looking for anything other than a fairly easy shot.
Get the good high percentage shot.
We have traveling call on Abraham Lincoln. So with a 13-point lead, you know that TJ is probably going to be trying to take the air out of the ball right here. Sean Rice getting ready to check in the ball game. Don't believe we've seen him yet tonight. Patton with the ball, with the shot, and he might have been wise to not have taken that shot. With a 13-point lead, you want to try to take as much time off the clock as possible. We have a foul on Neil Askew.
Come on, Mike.
Cornelius Askew with a foul. Ryan Meese to the line.
As Beckman and Sean Rice check into the ball game. Park Carlson checks out. And Jason Arnold has a seat on the bench. As Brian Reese misses his first shot. I believe that's 3 in a row that they've missed now. That's something that they really can't do. And he misses another one. Free throw shooting going to be a big part of this last 4 or 5 minutes. Beckman with the three-pointer could. Oh my! The big man comes up with the three-pointer. I've seen Mike shoot a couple of those this year. That's one of those where the coach is saying, no, yeah. Brink with the nice 5-foot jumper.
TJ with a 14-point lead now.
46-32 with 5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. SU passes the ball inside to Koenig. Koenig with a nice layup there.
TJ showing no signs of letting up here. They're staying with what's gotten them the lead so far, coming down and converting off the fast break.
I would say the biggest part of this second half is I don't know what Coach Decker said to. We have a foul on Pat Hughes. I don't know what Coach Decker had to say at halftime, but I sure would like to bottle it and sell it. He must have had one heck of a speech there at halftime because it was a close ball game, and it's turned into a 16-point lead for Thomas Jefferson as Coach Koch calls a timeout and wants to talk about it to his players.
Brian Schwartz, Pat Gibson, and Jason Johnson into the game for AL now.
So if you're Abraham Lincoln, you think it's time to start putting up a couple three-pointers? You still think you got enough time to move the ball in?
Right now, you know, they've had a chance to get some good shots, but they just haven't had them fall inside. And if they can keep TJ out of the bonus situation and make some of those free throws, they can get back in this ball game.
Abraham Lincoln still has one foul to give before they go into the bonus, and you can bet that they're going to be taking that here pretty quick. Abraham Lincoln, or Thomas Jefferson rather, with the lead, 48-32, with 4 minutes and 39 seconds to go in the ball game. You've got to feel pretty confident if you're a Thomas Jefferson fan right about now, with a 16-point lead. Really, you're not going to want to come down and put the ball up after about 2 or 3 seconds. You're going to want to try to take as much air out of the ball as you can. And I believe after that timeout, we're going to be seeing that. We might be seeing a little bit of weaving, a few things like that, as Thomas Jefferson will try
to go into their stall game.
Exactly. Mike Beckman, as he sinks the shot to give Thomas Jefferson a 17-point lead. The defense of TJ holding AL to only 32 points thus far. Second one is up, no good off the back of the rim. Brian Schwartz with the rebound. McCart passes it down to Gibson. Gibson back into McCart. Askew with the ball. As he goes in, misses the layup, but a nice follow by Dave Patton. As we have a jump ball. Dave Patton a little happy about that.
Possession arrow favors Abraham Lincoln.
4 minutes, 21 seconds to go in the ball game. Thomas Jefferson with a 19-point lead. As we have a foul on Travis Koenig inside. Crowd wanting a double dribble, but didn't get the call. And very, very crucial free throw shots right here. If AL wants to get back into it, they're going to have to sink their free throws. I know they missed at least 6 or 7 here in the second half as Brian Schwartz sinks the first one. 51-33, 4:18 left to go in the ball game. Brian Schwartz with the second one, no good. Rebound by Beckman. Beckman gets it off into Patton. Patton brings the ball across the timeline. Still don't see Thomas Jefferson going into their stall. Dave Patton rather, with the ball off the glass.
kissed the glass on that one.
Very good touch, good touch. Ball inside to Schwartz. Schwartz off the glass. Good touch for Brian Schwartz there also. Abraham Lincoln can't afford to be trading baskets at this point in the ball game with 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go. Down by 18 points. Travis Koenig with the ball down in the corner. I believe that was Newberry, rather. And a foul on Schwartz. Now coming into the ball game for Abraham Lincoln, number 21, Tom Freeman. That'll be Tom's first appearance of the evening. Mike Beckman as he steps into the line. Up to the line, rather. Both teams in the bonus. 3 minutes, 30 seconds to go in the ball game. First one is up and no good, and with only 3 minutes and 30 seconds, boy, you're just about going to have a miracle here to get back into the ball game for Abraham Lincoln. Thomas Jefferson playing an excellent ball game tonight, especially defensively. Askew with the ball. The rebound up and no good. Askew again with the ball as he brings it back out. As I believe we're going to have a foul called. Foul's on number 25. Or rather, Pat Hughes. I don't believe Pat Hughes is out there. I believe that was on Pat Gibson. 3 minutes, 20 seconds left in the ball game. As you notice, both student sections for Abraham Lincoln and Thomas Jefferson both on their feet. One thing that was different about this year's scheduling is they only met once this year here at Abraham Lincoln, and I'd like to go into the yearbooks and see the last time that Thomas Jefferson has beaten Abraham Lincoln twice in their own house. Travis Koenig with the shot up and no good. In and out, rolls around.
TJ doing a good job of pressuring the three-point shooters for AL.
Because you know that's what they're going to be taking. Jason Johnson with the shot up and good. Cuts it to a 15-point lead with 2:56 left to go in the ball game. And boy, you really got to be thinking about seeing some of that stall game going on right here. Jason Aaron's getting ready to check into the ball game with 4 fouls.
And this is a big change from previous years with the 1-and-1, the bonus. This year with the new rule change, teams that have that lead and can make the free throws can
it does take a lot of the strategy out of the ball game towards the end of the ball game. So with 2 minutes 49 seconds left to go in the game, Thomas Jefferson leads 53-38. We'll be back. Welcome back. 2 minutes 49 seconds left to go in the game. 53-38 lead for Thomas Jefferson as Dave Patton steps to the line. For Abraham Lincoln, your goal right now is to get the game into single digits, you know, with over a minute left to play, and that's going to be a very tough task for him. As the second one's up and no good. 54-38, 2:46 left to go in the ball game. Jason Johnson brings the ball down the court.
AL trying to set a pick for their guards for the three-point shot.
Schwartz with the ball up and good. I think exchanging baskets is just a little bit too little, too late, as we have a foul on Freeman. It'll be his first. And again, that two-shot foul becomes a big factor. It works towards TJ's favor and against Abraham Lincoln's. I don't know. I haven't heard it. It's an experimental rule, I believe, this year, isn't it, Brian?
Yes, it is.
I know. One thing that they're thinking about in Nebraska is a shot clock, and I myself really don't see that there's a place for the shot clock in high school basketball. Even if they say a 45-second clock, I myself am really not in favor of it. Neil Askew with the steal. Coming down the court, and fingertip roll up and good. And I think you can just about seal it up for Thomas Jefferson with an 18-point lead. Three-pointer is an error ball by Sean Rice. Askew with the ball. Nice dish off to Jason Ahrens. No good. Ahrens with tough rebound. And Jason Johnson comes up with the ball. Lots of Jasons out here on the court tonight. 30-foot
three-point shot for Jason Johnson.
Up and good. That's it to 15, but I believe, again, it's just a little bit too little, a little bit too late. As we have a foul on Jason Johnson. 1 minute, 39 seconds left to go in the ball game. Thomas Jefferson with a 58-43 lead. Hey, Brian, I know you're probably getting a little nervous here for tomorrow night's ball game, or Friday night's ball game, when this will be telecast. It'll be history, but you play, St. Albert's plays, I believe, Friday night.
Against Clorinda.
Clorinda.
At Thomas Jefferson.
At Thomas Jefferson. So hopefully when everyone sees this, you'll be a winner. And if you play after that, when is the ball game?
It'd be Monday.
Monday. Also, the winner of this ball game, which it appears at this point is going to be Thomas Jefferson without a doubt, will be taking on the winner of Dennis and Carroll Kemper. I believe that game is at Harlan on Monday night, the night that you'll be seeing this actually. And ball goes off to Sean Rice. Sean Rice in for the two.
AL really hustling now. Down to a 13-point ball game.
Askew with the ball. We have a foul on Jason Johnson. Again, with 13 points, a minute, 8 seconds left to go. You're almost going to have to have a small miracle here to win the ball game.
Another note with that two-shot foul, as a player, I know when you have a lead like that, and with the new rule, there's not as much pressure on you for that first free throw.
Exactly.
Because you're guaranteed two.
So we'll just have to wait and see next year and see if that rule lasts. As the second one is up and no good. Schwartz with the rebound. AL could cut it to 10 points here with the three-pointer. Jason Johnson up and in and out. No good. Brian Schwartz with the ball up and good. As we have a foul on Sean Rice. So we have an 11-point ball game, 55 seconds to go. Stranger things have happened. Dave Patton steps up to the line. A 60-49 lead for Thomas Jefferson. 55 seconds left to go in the game.
Thomas Jefferson has to be real careful to take care of the ball with this last minute here.
It's one thing that I was totally wrong about. I thought that TJ would come down and try to do a little stalling, but boy, they went right after it. And I suppose when you get down into this point of the season, you're going to want to go with what worked for you during the whole season. And if you haven't done a stall game, you might as well stick to your game plan.
Yep.
Try to get the ball to Neil Askew, get it inside to Mike Beckman. And they did exactly
that.
It's
very apparent that strategy worked tonight, and it's really paid off for TJ.
You bet. I think the key point in the ball game tonight was that stretch. It was 33-26 for about 3.5 minutes. TJ had a 7-point ball game. It was back and forth between a 3 and a 4-point ball game most of the time. TJ got up to 7 points, and Abraham Lincoln just never caught on fire, and TJ never looked back. They, I believe, AL only scoring 4 or 5 points in the third quarter just killed them.
That was a big key.
And you got to hand it to the TJ players for that excellent defense they had. Of course, AL had their opportunities inside, but they just didn't make the shots fall. And of course, that's attributed to tough defense on the Thomas Jefferson side, having a hand in their face, not letting them get the shot off. (63-50), 43 seconds left to go in the ball game. Jason Johnson up and good. I believe Jason Johnson only a junior again this year, so Abraham Lincoln having a few players that will be able to come back next year. with 43 seconds left to go in the ball game. It's a 12-point game. Thomas Jefferson, rather, up 63-51. And again, Brian, a key part of the ball game, I think, is Thomas Jefferson's defense.
Yes, it has been. Their ability, they really pressured AL in that third quarter and kept them from scoring.
One thing that has got to be a key to the ball game is Brink. Yeah, Jason Brink. I believe he's probably only had 6 or 8 points the ball game, and when it seems to be when Brink plays good, AL plays good. He's a very vital part of their offense, not taking anything away from the rest of the players, but it seems when Jason has an good night that Abraham Lincoln wins.
And Jason played well tonight. He just didn't get some of those shots to fall, and that's going to happen sometimes.
You bet. As well as the rest of the AL players played an excellent ball game. 39 seconds left to go. Patton coming up with the steal. There's got to be a foul in there somewhere.
Somehow Patton manages to maintain control.
He's a magic man if he got away from that. 31 seconds to go in the ball game. So Thomas Jefferson will have their work cut out for him as they play my bet would be Carroll Kemper.
Yes, and that should be an interesting ball game. I don't believe both teams have played this season yet.
No, they haven't seen each other. I know Abraham Lincoln has played Carroll Kemper, and they played him to about a 6-point ball game. But talking to some of the coaches, they said that that was one of their best ball games of the year.
And I played against Carroll Kemper, and both TJ and Carroll like to run and fast break.
Very similar.
So they're similar in that respect.
So we encourage you, if you're not watching this on Monday night, to travel on to Harlan, and I'm sure tune the radio in. Someone's bound to be having it on the radio somewhere, and support the Thomas Jefferson Yellow Jackets, as they apparently will be the winners of the district championship here in Council Bluffs, as Abraham Lincoln falls to probably a 7-14 record, as Thomas Jefferson will go to 9-12.
And Jason Johnson makes the first shot.
Looks like we have
TJ
a lane violation, possibly. 65-52, 26 seconds. Ball is intercepted. Brought down to Jason Johnson for the 3. No good. Schwartz at the rebound inside, and he's hammered by Mike Patton. Little guy gets inside and gets his wax in there. You got to hand it to Mike Patton, or Dave Patton. Excuse me, I keep saying his brother here. But you got to hand it to Dave. He has really controlled the tempo for Thomas Jefferson, bringing the ball down the court, and is an excellent ball handler. Brian Schwartz with the shot. It's up and no good. .18 seconds left in the ball game. 65-52. Abraham Lincoln with the follow. It's a 65-54 ball game. 11-point ball game. We have an intentional foul on Jason Johnson with 13 seconds left to go in the ball game. And that's just about it, I would say. This last, forgive me for babbling, but this last 3 minutes has taken forever, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
Mike Newberry now leaving the ball game. Into the game for the Jackets now, number 34, I believe. No, number 24.
And
Kirk Jones.
Mike did a really nice job tonight of playing tough defense, and he also did a good job on the offensive boards for TJ.
Got to hand it to Thomas Jefferson. Not very often do you see TJ come into Abraham Lincoln, or that fact, Abraham Lincoln come into TJ and winning twice at their home court. Got to hand it to TJ, especially coming out off that 1-point victory in overtime with Lewis Central. You might have thought that they would have been down for this ball game, considering earlier in the year they played them and at one point had a 29-point lead. They came in tonight's ball game very concentrated. Yeah, they really played with a lot of momentum, and you got to hand it to them. They just played an excellent ball game tonight. Not taking anything away from Abraham Lincoln, but it was TJ who had it tonight as the ball goes off Travis Koenig, AL ball. Coming into the ball game now, number 10, Derek Peterson. You bet that this might be Derek's possibly his first action as varsity. Looks a little nervous out there. Gets in for the last 8 seconds of the ball game. Chauncey Jones and the jam.
Neil Askew with the
Jam by Neil Askew. And really that
typifies the game tonight.
That typifies the game as Thomas Jefferson comes away the winner. With Neil Askew getting lifted up onto the shoulders, you really got to hand it to Thomas Jefferson tonight. They played an excellent ball game, as did Abraham Lincoln, but TJ just seemed to have everything together tonight. And you know, you got to wish them all the luck in the world.
You know, you've got to hand it to both teams. Both teams played their heart out tonight, and you know, it was just it was a fun game to watch. You just hate to see one team lose, but you just wish Thomas Jefferson all the luck in the world, and hopefully they'll be playing a Carroll Kemper or a Denison team, and they'll have a type of night that they had tonight. So the final score tonight: Thomas Jefferson 68, Abraham Lincoln 54. We'd like to thank you. This will be our last basketball game rather. We'd like to have you join us again next year for some football and some more basketball. And I'd like to thank Brian Holder tonight for all of his great input. This was his first effort as color commentary tonight, and I think he did an excellent job. Why, thank you, Randy.
And I'd like to also wish St. Albert's all the luck in the world as they hopefully make their trip to state again this year.
Thanks.
That's it for tonight. Again, Thomas Jefferson with the victory, 68. Abraham Lincoln, 54.